Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Today, we're going to be reviewing the Ofra x Samantha March Life's a Draft Mini Mix Face Palette. And I'm so excited to get into this. I love Samantha March and I love this palette. I did watch Sam's release video, which I will leave linked down below so you can watch it as well if you want to. But in the meantime, if you would like to know what this palette looks like, how it swatches, how it performs, what look I create, as well as my initial first impressions, then stay exactly where you are. Keep doing exactly what you're doing and keep on watching. And before we begin with the actual review, we do have this portion of the video sponsored by Dossier. Yet again, today's Dossier scent is in fact Aromatic Watermelon. This fragrance is inspired by Ralph Lauren's Polo Blue. And listen, between you and me, if you put watermelon on anything, if you've been here for any amount of time, you know this already, but if you put watermelon on anything, I'm gonna love it. Scented, flavored, it doesn't matter. Now, the brand Dossier provides luxury fragrances at an affordable price. Instead of 3 digits, let's think more like 2 digits. Their fragrances are $29 each, and they're always inspired by some luxury fragrance, some popular fragrance that you all know and love. I bet you will probably find a compatible fragrance on Dossier's website. The real magic behind Dossier is that instead of, like these luxury brands, building a fragrance formula and hiking up the price and then selling it to you, Dossier does it a little bit different. They keep costs low, they keep markup low. And that's one of the things that I love about them. You can get great quality fragrance that's super close to the luxury scent for a fraction of the price. Plus, when you get your box and your fragrance in, if you try it and decide that you don't like it, you can send it back and get your money back. Then you can take the opportunity to try another fragrance that you might like instead. Now with Aromatic Watermelon, the top notes are bergamot, watermelon, of course, and cardamom. The middle notes are basil, clary sage, orris, and verbena, and the base notes are musk, vetiver, oh, I love vetiver, patchouli, also love, and amberwood, also love. Now for this sponsorship, for the first time ever, Dossier has provided me a coupon code for you guys. It's just CHRIS10 for 10% off. You can also save 20% with your first order on their website. Wow, I just sprayed that and it smells so good. It is crazy to me how close these fragrances are to the original. I will also leave a link for you guys to follow to Dossier's website if you want to. Again, it's not affiliated. It's just so Dossier can see who comes from my channel. So thank you guys in advance if you do use the link, if you do use the code. It does help me out even if it's not monetarily, so I appreciate it. And thank you so much Dossier for partnering with me on this portion of the video. Now let's get into this review. So this is the Ofra x Samantha March Life's a Draft Face Palette and Eye Palette. It's a really pretty lavendery purple with all of these graphic line cosmetic components. Looks super cute. I love the way it looks. It's simple yet classy. Then if we flip it over, it shows the actual shades that are within the palette as well as a description of the palette on the side. Then if we break our little seal at the bottom, oh, my heart. We can now open the palette and see what she looks like. I don't feel a protective sheet inside, so here she is. Oh wait, there is a protective sheet. Is it stuck to it? So it turns out it doesn't have a protective sheet. It has an entire protective plastic piece that goes over the whole palette. I kind of love that. So here is the palette itself. We've got essentially 8 eyeshadow shades and 3 face shades. You don't have to stick to just eye for the small pans and face for the large pans. Now this palette was $39 ordered directly from Ofra Cosmetics. It's also available on Beautylish and the Ulta website currently. And now I'm going to zoom you guys in so that we can get started on swatches. The first shade is the shade 09. Ram, Honors, Peace, Maya, Cherry, 23, Pink, then within the 3 face pans, we've got the shade 6, Dream Chaser, and Key. And with that, that is all the swatches from the Ofra x Samantha March Life's a Draft Mini Mix Face Palette. You guys know I won't leave you hanging. As always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And here's a video close-up of every single swatch. Those swatched so beautifully. They did take a little while to build up, or a lot of them did, but that doesn't really say anything about the formula or the way it's going to perform on the eye. In fact, I think it's going to be one of those kind of palettes that you're going to be able to get a really soft veil of color if you want, or it can be built up to be really pigmented. But instead of guessing, let's find out for sure. I did go ahead and prime my eyes with my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base in the shade Medium. And obviously, today's look is going to be a little more on the neutral side with a kick of purple. So today, we're going to begin with the Morphe x Madison Beer Big Fluffy Brush with a flat taper at the end of it, and begin with the shade 23. And this shade is going to go right into the crease and kind of be the all-over color for the outer portion of the crease. I'm also going to pull out a little bit of a wing shape right out there on the outer edge, and then connect that through. Since that smooth, buttery goodness is now all over my crease, I'm going to use the Morphe, I don't know, whatever it's called. It is a pointed diffused blender brush. It's got a taper all around it. And now I'm going to use the shade 09, and I'm going to put that in the inner portion of the crease. So I have tapped off the excess this time, and I'm just going to start by pressing that taper right here in the inner corner. I'm going to point it down though, so that the taper will follow my eye shape. And then, as I'm blending this one, I'm going to start pulling it up, and then mix it into my brow. And then start blending out into the other shade. That is so soft and pretty. These are blending like a dream. Now this is the first time that I've used the Ofra eyeshadow formula. I'm pretty sure. I think I've only ever used the highlighters. So as a first experience, I've got to say so far I'm pretty satisfied. And now with this inner corner shade, I'm just going to blend this out and make it look really smoky. I want to kind of diffuse it enough that it looks like it just blends into my natural skin tone. Since I've gotten kind of a smooth layer of mauvey purple tones on the crease, I now want to deepen things up, but also add a little bit of intensity. So I'm going to use this Melt X Beetlejuice 830 pointed crease brush, and now I'm going to use the shade Ram. Now, sweet little Ram here is going to stay only in the crease. I think I'm going to go all the way from the outer corner of the crease to the inner corner of the crease, and do maybe like a little bit of a spotlight eye or a halo eye, something like that. I don't know yet. Oh yeah, there she is. There's that purple I was looking for. Since the crease is now built up with all of the mattes I want to use, I'm now going to go into the shade Honors, but I'm just going to use my pinky finger. This is sort of going to be my all-over lid shade, so I don't really need to be super precise with it. Not yet, anyway. Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. I like that the shimmer shades within the eyeshadow formula aren't like just an exact duplication of the highlighters. I feel like if every metallic shade was like the highlighters, it would probably be a little much. But I think the formula that was chosen for these shimmer shades is just perfect to fit with the theme of the palette, if that makes sense. Now at this point, to me, the lid is a little disconnected from the rest of the look, from the crease. So I'm going to use the ColourPop E26 flat brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Ink, and I'm going to use this on the outer and inner corner of the lid. That way I can sort of marry the crease shades in with the lid shades. By the way, I don't think I mentioned it, but the shades in this palette are removable. They're magnetic pans. So if you have just a favorite shade that you love from this palette and you have a magnetic palette that you want to keep it in, that you use more often, and you don't want to carry the whole thing around, just pop it out and put it in the magnetic palette. That's perfect. Or I guess you could even just rearrange this palette if you wanted to. I personally wouldn't, just because it's kind of laid out just fine for me. But you know, if you want to, go ahead. So I'm gonna fill this shade on the outer V and then the inner V. Inner corner V. It's already coming together. I love when this happens, when it just kind of starts melting into itself and just working. Okay? And now for the piece de resistance. I'm gonna go into the shade Maya. And again, I'm gonna use my pinky. I just want the most potency, and this little pinky can give me that. And Maya is gonna go right on the center of the lid. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Oh Maya, where have you been all my life? I've also just decided to use the Dalton Detailed Dazzler brush and use Maya as my brow bone highlight as well. I overplucked my brows a little bit today, so my brow bone is much higher than normal. I'm not used to having this much real estate for my brow bone highlight. Oh, just look at that gorgeousness. Wow. Okay guys, so the whole first part of the look is created. Now I need to do the lower lash line. But to do that, of course, I need to go ahead and go off camera and finish off all of my face makeup. Well, do my face makeup, because I haven't even started yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and then I'll come right back so that we can finish off the lower lash line and finish the look. I'll see you guys in just a second. Face makeup is complete. Ow, my elbow. Face makeup is completely done. So now I need to finish off this lower lash line so I can have a completely complete finished look. And for the first part of the lower lash line, I'm going to use the Lunar Beauty LBE 6 brush. It's like a bullet crease blender brush, but it's super precise and a little bit fluffy at the end, so maybe I can get a semi-precise blend, we shall see. But with this brush, I'm going to go into the shade Cherry. And that shade is going to be used right on my lower lash line, right up against my lashes. And for the very last addition of shadow on the lower lash line, I'm going to use the Morphe Madison Beer brush I used earlier in the shade 23 and go back into the shade 23 and smoke out Cherry with 23. That was actually a teeny tiny white lie. I'm also going to take the Beetlejuice melt brush I used earlier. I'm not going to add any more pigment on the brush. Just going to take what's left of the shade Ram and put that right on the outer corner of the lower lash line. That way my crease shade from the top of the look can also come down and blend into the rest of the look. Okay guys, here we are. I just realized that I completely forgot to film my outro earlier. It is much later in the day from what it just previously was. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went through my brain, but I finished the look and never filmed an outro. So here we are. I'm so sorry I don't have the look on still. I did take it off so that I could start editing and get ready for bed. And then I got to the end of the video and realized that I failed. So when it comes to the Ofra X Samantha March Life's a Draft palette, I would definitely recommend this palette. This palette is great. And this highlighter in here is beautiful. It's got just kind of a little bit of a pink shift. It's not too much. And I like that the palette has a couple of other highlighting shades that can be used. I thought originally it was a blush and a bronzer. I'm pretty sure it's just 3 highlighters, but of course they could also be used on the eyes. Now with this color story, you're obviously gonna get some sort of mauve-y, taupey, neutral kind of look, no matter what shades you use. So just know that in advance. But the quality is definitely there. I'm so excited for this to have been my first Ofra palette that I've tried, and I'm really excited to try more now, especially. The matte formula is a soft, smooth, creamy, buildable formula that you can have just as a wash of color, or you can really build up to be super opaque. And the shimmers in the eyeshadow pans are kind of the same. They're more of like that satin shimmer, but can be sprayed to have a little more opacity and intensity. But when you get down to those 3 face pans at the bottom, that's where the real light shines, quite literally. So all in all, definitely love the palette. Definitely would recommend if you like mauve purple neutral color stories. I would just be aware of that and just know that it might not be perfect for everyone. And with that being said, that is it from us for this video. I hope you guys liked the review. If you did, it would mean the world to me if you wanted to give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you did. I do appreciate it, and it does help me understand what types of videos you guys enjoy. Also, if you liked the look from today's video and you'd like to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this. And that is to always remember and never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Say bye! Bye, everybody! Okay, I love you. Bye, guys.
Oh, he's got such a hard life. Yeah. Oh, poor little leaf. Poor little leaf has such a hard life. Oh, goodness.
He really doesn't like the bright lights in his face.
But you're a star, leaf. Shine bright, shine far, don't be shy, be a star. Where you live, where you are, be a star.
Oh, am I boring you?